Hello and welcome to my home. Today we have a Vinyasa class, so we'll go at a slower pace in the beginning and then start to speed it up. Take care of yourself as we go and know that you can always take extra pauses. We'll start today in Balasana, so a child's pose. So we'll come in together either with knees more wide, or you can bring the knees together and take in a couple breaths just to rock side to side. And then wherever you're practicing today, really give this practice to yourself, this moment to yourself, and to stay very honest with your energy level. So giving to yourself what you need. You can stay either here close to the midline, or if you want to add in a side body stretch with me, you can lift from the head and torso lightly, just to give a little bit more space there. And let's start to the left side today, walking the hands over, and then before you come down again, can you stretch through the right arm a little bit forward and then start to guide through the chest bone more down, and either to stay still or you can find a little bit of a pulse there. So anything that we do today, always let it be in a more explorative mode. 2 more rounds of breath here. Side body, side ribs. And then when you're ready, you can come up through center, across the midline, and over to the right. And then again, before you rest more down, can you stretch through the left arm a little bit forward so you find this longer line down to the left outer hip, and then you can start to rest back down, maybe rocking or just a chill. Head can be lifted or down. I'm just having mine lifted because I have a mic here so you can hear me. 2 more breaths. Reaching through the left side. And then starting to come back through midline, and we'll start to activate forward to hands and knees. So I'll give you a little bit of time if you need to set something up, if you want to adjust your practice space a little bit, but check that you have your blocks with you towards the top edges of the mat. We are going to use them a little bit. And then starting cats and cows. So I always like to begin with a little bit more freestyling. You can try rocking a little bit forward and back. So really finding these contact points of ground. And then just freedom through the spine, through the rib cage. So that the main part of the practice would be that you find a sweet spot where you can still nourish and vitalize the body. So it doesn't take away from you, but rather brings you new pathways of connection. Good. You can start to narrow down the movement to smaller and smaller and smaller, and then we meet each other on tabletop, hands and knees. I'm going to pour the weight towards the right side hand and find a little bit of this grounding down now through the right shoulder into your right hand, and then inhale, open left arm up to sky. And then as you exhale, we'll thread the needle about 3 rounds of breath. So we stay down and take about 3 rounds of breath here towards the space between the shoulder blades. You can adjust the hips a little bit back. Last round of breath. Then as you inhale, see if you can start to press down to open through the left arm back up. Simultaneously, slide the right shin bone out and glide the left leg back through space. And here, I sometimes refer to starfish energy. So we're reaching out from the center into your legs, your arms, and tail and head. Take 1 more in-breath and then exhale. Left arm moves over the head and then down towards the mat slowly. Can you place it down? Rotate right shin bone straight and keep on carrying the left leg here. Sunbird bow. So if these are new to you, you can do a smaller movement also. You're going to inhale, shift forward, and then exhale, either dipping halfway or chin dips down to the floor, and then exhale, you press up to glide shoulder blades apart. We do that a couple times more, exhaling, lowering, and lifting back up. So you find your pace with these. Can you do about 3 more with me? Keeping on activating there from that back leg. Last 2, halfway or all the way. And lifting back up, sliding the shoulder blades apart. Last one. And then from here to 3-leg dog. So you're going to glide the left leg all the way up and back. Bend the left knee, open hip. Take one big breath in through the nose. And exhaling. Left foot comes down to down dog. And you might want to adjust your space a little bit, bending one knee and the other, or finding any sense of fluidity before we continue. Nice. Finding connection again to earth. And then from there, you can bend the knees a little bit. We'll come to a plank pose and hold for a moment. So you can bend the knees, and from the feet, can you push forward to plank pose? Micro bend the elbows so that you can wrap the elbows more back and then option to stay there, or you can even drop the knees, but we'll hold this just for a moment. Shift a little bit further forward, navel draws towards the spine, and then lower down to the belly for the count of 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Untuck the toes. 3 cobras. In breath lifts you. And exhale, lower. Can you activate more from the back muscles there? So you inhale, mainly first activate back, then to have the hands to help you to lift. And exhale to lower. And last one here. In breath lifts you. And exhale, lower down. Hands move under shoulders. And then press back child's pose for a moment. And option to stay still around a breath, or again to rock a little bit sideways. You can send out energy from the heart into the arms, into the hands. When you're ready to come back with me, hands and knees. And this time we'll start to ground down through the left side hand. So think again of activating first from the shoulder down the left hand, then to broaden right arm to sky. In breath. And exhale, we'll thread the needle and we'll stay again for a moment. 3 breaths. Finding that spaciousness between the shoulder blades and rotation, weaving from the right side, ribs under. Take one more round of breath here. And then press it down. We'll start to reopen right arm up to sky. Can you rotate left shin bone out? Right leg glides to space. And again, think of this activation from all the limbs out the center. Good. As you exhale, next time, right arm goes across, forward. Keep on lifting through the back leg. So slowly and with control, we will play with planks today quite a lot. Left shin bone straight. And then 5 of those sunbird bows. So see if you need to reset. Then inhale, shift forward, exhale halfway, or dip to the chin down. Exhale, press back up. 4 more. Let's go. Dipping down. And exhale, lift. Last 3. Come with me for 2. Keep on activating the back leg. And then from the next one, you're going to push up and back to 3-leg dog. One simultaneous movement. Right leg lifts. In breath. Maybe to bend the knee, a little bit of a wiggle there before you then glide the right foot down to the mat, down dog. Give it a moment, feel. Good. And we'll soon come to a chaturanga hold, so I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you want to place the knees down or not? But you're going to bend the knees, you're going to shift forward as you inhale, so you press from the legs forward to the shoulders, into the hands, micro bend the elbows already. I'm going to place my knees down just because I'm going to talk a little bit about this. So you're going to bend the elbows just a tiny bit, wrap the elbows back, and broaden to the collarbones. Now you could stay even here or come a little bit further down. So you're constantly anchoring into the hands, activating through the shoulders. And we're going to hold here for 5. Navel to spine, 4, 3, 2, and then upward dog. Or you go down to the belly open cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. So with these vinyasas that we take today, think of a small expression can actually be of more quality. Many times when we go too low, we don't properly activate through the shoulders. But you find your pace. Bend the knees, look forward now, and then step or walk top of the mat. Halfway lift, we lengthen, and exhale to fold. Nice. Let's root to rise, bring it up to stand all the way in breath, and then exhale, bend the knees slightly, bring the hands to heart. So we'll start to come a little bit into the legs now. You're gonna lift your right heel and shift all the way to your left heel. So right heel only lifted. And then from that left leg, you're gonna start to pulsate up and down. So really finding this pathway into your left leg muscles. We're gonna keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hold it with me for a moment? Hover the right toes, feel. And then take a halfway step back, so pyramid legs, quite a traditional shape. We're gonna heel toe the feet a little bit wider apart towards the outer edges. Then inhale, lift through the chest. And exhale, micro bend the knees, hinge from the hips to fold. Now grab the blocks. Even if you don't usually use them, try them here. Halfway lift first to glide through the right leg a little bit forward. So right outer hip draws forward, left outer hip lightly back. And exhale to fold, 2 breaths. And you can find a slight pouring of the weight even forward back here. So mainly just working with your proprioception of how you're positioned in space. Good. Then together we'll lift halfway soon to lengthen. If you want to add a twist with me, come up to the highest level on the block. And if you don't have blocks, you can always use your fingertips or books even. Then weight into your right hand slightly so you can place the left hand to the lower back, and then inhale to open through the heart a little bit forward. Then exhale to rotate through the chest bone all the way to the left. So here, try to really stabilize through the pelvis. My dog is here practicing with us for a moment. You're gonna hold this for a moment, or you're gonna start to activate the left arm all the way up to sky. So really sending energy up the left arm. And we hold this for 2 and for 1 in breath. And then exhale, look first down, bring the left hand back to the lower back, and then start to spiral heart back down, bending into the left knee. Good, blocks can come aside. We're gonna tiptoe right foot a little bit back and meet me in a plank pose that you can sustain. So now again, option, you can drop the knees down. We're gonna take chaturanga push-ups, 3 of them. Activate from the center first, bending the elbows halfway, and then press back up. So I look for more quality rather than just going too low. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, lower, and press back up. Last one to lower. And now upward dog or cobra, it's your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up, back. Hey, well, friend, do you want to be with us practicing? Maybe rest a little bit. Okay, inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and then exhale, step or hop top of the mat, halfway lift. We continue to fold it down. Nice. Inhale, we stand all the way up to sky in breath, and then exhale, bring the hands to the heart, bend the knees, sink the hips. So where we started, but now left heel lifts off the mat, and we'll start pulses again, up and down. So you find your pace there. Pour the weight really into your right heel, so you want to start to activate these pathways from the center to the right leg. Let's go for 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Lift the left toes a little bit, hover, and then take a shorter step back, so about midway, and then pyramid, placing left foot down. You can widen the feet a little bit and then extend first through the heart. So you lift up energy, inner thighs activate, and then exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. Remember a micro bend in the knees. We grab the blocks. Just had to have a little bit more ground to begin on. Halfway lift again to elongate, left outer hip forward, right outer hip back. And then exhale, let's pour it down to fold. About 2 breaths, and you can find a little bit of a wiggle wobble. If you want to stay here, you do so, or to add in the twist, we're going to take a halfway lift to lengthen. Pause. And then weight now to your left side hand, right hand comes to the lower back. And first I want you to think of extension and length. Now we have our other dog joining us, so you're welcome. We have a lot of dog action today. Exhale, you're gonna guide the heart over towards the right side. And pause for a moment and see if you can find a little bit of more of this anchoring down to the right hand. Feel. Then lastly, can you start to send up right arm to sky and really activate through the right arm bones. So you feel energy sending itself up, up, up. You hold for 2. You hold for 1. And then right hand comes down. You start to bend slightly from the front knee just to spiral heart back down. Okay, friends, we're going to bend the right knee. Spin the left toes a little bit backwards and then high plank or plank with knees down. 3 chaturanga push-ups. Let's go halfway and press back up. Last 2. Come with me. Press back up and then can you hold for a moment? If you did have the knees down, if you'd like to try, now you can lift the knees. Hold it. Upward dog, in breath. And exhale, downward facing dog, exhale. Nice. Take a round of breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. We'll continue from there together. Bend the knees, look forward. And then exhale, step or hop, top of the mat, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Let's root to rise, bring it up to stand all the way, in breath. Exhale, hands to heart, bend the knees. Can you simultaneously lift the right heel? We pause for 3. We pause for 2. And then using that pulse to lift up to stand just for a moment. Right knee lifts. As you exhale, go back through space to a different variation of Warrior 3 where your right leg is going to be a little bit lower. So think of an internal rotation there, activating the right leg and then turning from the heart a little bit forward, almost like in a mini baby cobra. Beautiful. You can bend the standing leg. So we're really looking for that activation in the legs. Hold 1 more in breath and then exhale, step down to high lunge. Good. Spine arms up, in breath, and then exhale, hands behind the head. You're going to bend the back knee just slightly. Think of a rotation here more downwards from the sacrum and tailbone. We hold there. And if you have lower back things going on, you might just stay here, or you come to exhale, round the upper back. Keep the back knee bent. As you inhale, stretch through the right leg and open heart. And then we go again. Exhale to bend the back knee, round the upper back. Inhale to reopen. Nice. Can we do 1 last? Exhale to round. Inhale, can you lift up through midline and then keep the hands where as is, and then open legs to Warrior 2. So back heel rotates and you can take up a bit more space there, but feel first ground. So as I said, we start out slowly. Feel where the feet are. Maybe eyes can close. Maybe it's too wobbly. Then arms open to sky. Let's do a dancer. Inhale, left arm up over, and then to nudge, left forearm to left thigh. You keep your legs stable, carrying yourself from the center. 1 more like that. Inhale, left arm up over. And exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm up, over. And then if you want a little bit more, you can heel toe the back foot 1 step in. Gather center and then hover left elbow off the thigh, to then extend it forward with the right. And think of this rotation, how it's coming from the chest bone forward and up. We're holding 3 and 2. And then come to a lizard, hands down on the inside edge of the left foot. You lift the back heel and we heel toe it out. Now with this one, you can drop the back knee and we'll take 3 rocks here. Inhale coming forward, broaden through the heart. And exhale to a wider Ardha Hanuman, hips back. Exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, rocking forward. And exhale, rock back. Last one. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, rock back. Rock forward, inhale, lift the back knee. And now take a block on the lowest level under your right hand. We'll come to Vashisthasana here. And if it's your first time on the block, it is a little bit nicer on the wrist if you have a small angle here like I do from your shoulder. The arm goes a little bit forward as you see on an angle towards the hand. But it's your choice. Hips lift high, you open left arm to the sky. And then exhale, let's rotate to the outer edge of the back foot. And then can you pause and feel a little bit of buoyancy there to the back knee? So bending. You press directly down to the ground to then lift the left knee slowly up to sky. And we'll hold it here for 3 and 2. And of course, you can always lower this right knee if it's too much. And then extend the left arm over the head. Can you, with control, start to search your way down to a plank pose or wobble like I did. Right hand comes down, we take a vinyasa halfway hold, mini hold. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a round of breath in. Exhale, maybe close down the eyes, feel. Then we continue back again, bend the knees, look forward. And when you are working with these hops, think of tailbone buoyant. Then top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's go up to stand together, lift it up in breath, and then exhale. Now when you bend the knees, lift the left heel simultaneously. So we start to build these balancing actions in 3 pulses. And you can do a small movement also. So remember that sweet spot that really nourishes. Left knee lifts, hold. And then warrior 3 with the left leg, a little bit lower than normally. And then think of a small internal rotation where you're dropping from the left outer hip, you're bending your right knee and lifting up through the right. Activate through the center. One more. Soft inhale here. And then exhale, high lunge. Let's land. Arms, spine up. And then option, hands behind the head and slight bend to the back knee. Next, exhale, rounds through the upper back. And then as you inhale, there's more of this expansive energy. So you stretch through the back leg a little bit longer, head to hands. 2 more. Exhale, rounds. And inhale to open. And you can always take up more space there or less. Last one. Find your flow. Inhale to open and then pause just to find the midline. Keep the hands open, warrior 2 legs. And then go wider if you want to, bending into the front knee, landing a little bit there. Lastly, opening the arms like wings. We do the dancer, right arm up and back, inhale. And exhale, just a nudge, forearm to thigh, left arm either up or over. Carry yourself from the center, feel that midline dance. One more time, in breath, opening. And exhale, right forearm, thigh. Left arm up over, or you can heel to a back foot, 1 step in, or even closer. Activate the center so you can hover right elbow first, and then send the arm forward with the left. And we hold this 3. And we hold it 2. And then let's come to lizard, hands down, lift the back heel and take up space. Right foot goes wide. Nice. You can drop the back knee for a moment. And we come for the rocking, so you inhale, rock, hips forward, open space. And exhale to rock back. Let's do 2 more, just in your own pace. If you want to close your eyes, you can. Just to feel your way there. And then last one, inhale to rock forward. And exhale, rocking back. Rock forward, lift the back knee, inhale. And now block comes under left side hand. You move the weight over to your left hand so that you can activate the right arm up to sky. And we're coming to that side plank, so see if you want to drop the back knee or you continue with me rotating to the outer edge of the back foot, and see first if you can find a little bit of this kind of bend into the back knee. You're able to ground down through gravity first, and then you lift, right knee high. And the block is just there to give you more space. If it feels too much, you can always skip it. Let's take 1 more inhale. Exhale, right arm over the head, and then can you with control search your way down to a high plank. Hand comes down, right foot searches back. And then once the pelvis is facing more down, block away, you can take a vinyasa with me. And we land to meet in downward facing dog. Good. This time we'll continue to the back of the mat for a moment. So you can bend the knees, and you can walk the hands all the way to the feet. You can choose also to just hang here in a ragdoll and give yourself a more soft break. Otherwise, if we want to twist out the spine slightly, we'll take a halfway lift generously, so you really lift up through and broaden. Heel to the feet as wide as the mat and turn the toes to face straight forward. Knees are bent, and here, try to avoid this kind of rounding through the spine that happens sometimes. You want to really lift through the chest, keeping spine a bit more flat-ish. right hand grabs hold of the left shin or a little bit lower down, as long as you can keep the spine more lifted. Then activate hand to leg, leg to hand, and see if you can from there weave the left arm. So opposite arm lifts up to sky. And you can sneak peek down and check that the knees are pressing more outwards. They tend to start to kind of build themselves a little bit into the midline. And then breathe, one more in breath. Exhale, pretzel arms. You're gonna come across the mat and you're gonna hold on to the ankle of the right leg with the left hand. And first, rest along the midline. Then open through the chest again, press leg to hand to leg, and swap the underarm up to the sky. And then feel this weaving of the rib cage under you. One more big breath in. And exhale, this time to come out. Right arm forward, you bend the knees, hands come down. Now you can either stay here and ragdoll, hold the elbows, feet are a little bit wider. If you want a quick visit to a crow with me, hands are gonna come down. And heels lift, knees come to the armpits. You might need to exchange the hands a little bit. And you're gonna look forward, 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 bending the elbows. Round the upper back slightly, and then lift one foot first, and then the other might come up with you. And we're just here for 3 and 2. And then with control, can you place the tips of the toes down? Halfway lift, open space. Exhale either to plank for vinyasa, or you can wait with me in downward dog. Chill 2 breaths. Good. When everyone's ready again, know that you can always pause, but if you're ready, we go back forward, half to bend the knees, step or hop, top of the mat, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Let's root to rise, let's bring it up to stand. 1 in breath, and hands to heart, bend the knees, right heel lifts. You can find a little bit of a pulse, just if it helps you to really ground down through that leg, and then lift the right knee up to stand with me, nice. From here, figure 4 legs. So right ankle crosses the left thigh and really widening through the inner thighs a little bit back. Press the bum back, heart forward. You don't have to go super low with this one. I'm just curious about this rotation here through the right outer hip. Feel first. And then can you somehow untangle the right leg back through space for warrior 3? And now if you want, you can lift that right leg a little bit higher. Hold. Turn from the heart forward. Some of you might extend the arms forward. I don't have that much space in front, but I'll still do it. Hold it. And then high lunge. Let's step it down, arms up, hands behind the head. Hold it first, open chest, and then exhale, bend the back knee round. Let's do this one more time. Inhale to extend to open. And exhale to round in. Can you next time open to warrior 2? Keep the hands. And then once you find your feet, to open arms like wings, to do the dancer, left arm up, over in breath. And exhale this time, Parshva Konasana, side angle. So to stay, you can have the forearm, or you can bring the left fingertips down to the ground or the block, if you have one. So main thing here is so that you keep on leaning a little bit into the back body. It's making contact with it. And you're turning from the left side ribs a little bit under you. Hold for 1 more generous in-breath, and then exhale. We'll come to open arm twist. So if you have a block, move it again to the right corner of the mat. Lift the back heel, open left arm to sky. You take an in-breath, and then exhale. We'll come to some drills in a side plank. So you're going to turn to the outer edge of the back foot. Lift the left knee as we did in previous time, and look somewhere towards the mid-mat. So either mid-mat or somewhere above that, a little bit forward. And activate this top leg a lot, really active. And then see if you can rotate from the pelvis using the core to then dip the left toe somewhere to the mid or forward to mat. And then lift back up. You're gonna do that 2 more times. So you're working with a rotation using the core slowly to tap. And then with control, lift it back up. I know it's a lot. Last one, to tap, wobble, wobble, and then to lift. And then we have warrior 1. Let's step the left foot forward, glide the right heel down, block and come aside. We lift the spine, arms up, inhale. Option stay and land or interlace the fingers. Now draw the shoulder blades in and keep the elbows a little bit bent. So rather just puffing up through the heart instead of extending the arms. And then exhale, let's bow down, humble warrior. So if you're with me, you can stay up a little bit higher. You can also take up more space and dive deeper with the crown of the head more down. But notice where you need to be so that there is this sweetness again as an undercurrent. What do you need? Last 2 breaths. Keep on anchoring a little bit into the left heel. And then let's take a halfway lift. Arms reach back so you release them. Right heel lifts and then a higher lizard. So you're going to heel toe left foot just a little bit out. Now round the upper back and check that the tailbone is a little bit higher than normally so you're able to pick up the left heel. Then option to stay or bend the elbows and see if you can lift the left toes off the mat. So here I'm scooping the left knee up to the left upper arm. And we're just holding this for 3 and 2. Step it back, vinyasa to down dog, exhale. Move in your own pace and take breaks also as we go. Good. When you're ready, we'll bend the knees, inhale, look forward. And exhale, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Let's go again up to stand, inhale, and then exhale, bend the knees, hands to heart, left heel lifts. If the pulses helps you to ground, to anchor, to balance, you go for them. Nice, then lift the left knee up in breath and then option to go for the figure 4, ankle over right knee. And here I'm pressing very, very lightly with the right leg into the left ankle and then back with the ankle to the leg. Good. Last round of breath, and then can you unhook carefully to glide the left leg back, warrior 3. Maybe you lift the back leg a little bit more. You can open through the heart, maybe even to extend the arms forward. Again, that starfish energy. High lunge, left toes down, hands behind the head. Nice. Open through the chest first, sending your heel a little bit back there, and then exhale, bend through the back knee round. One more like this. Inhale to open. Exhale to round in, bend the back knee. Keep the hands, lift the spine, open warrior 2 legs, take up space. Lastly, open the arms and then to reverse, inhale, right arm up over. Exhale, side angle, Parshvakonasana. You can stay with forearm to thigh or take it a step lower if you like. Can you rotate from the right side rib cage? So in this case, it's the underside rib cage, really rotating more upwards. Hold. And then exhale, look down. We're going to swap again, left hand to a block to the left corner of the mat. Heel toe the right foot a little bit and pick up the back heel. Open arm twist first so that you lift the right arm up. And now if you need to change, left knee down and then lift the top leg like this is perfect. Or for the full side plank, you rotate to the outer edge and we pick the right knee up. But somewhere where you can sustain it and where you're able to really activate the top leg, that's what we want. Okay, let's go for the taps. Right toes tap somewhere forward and then lift it back up. Let's go for 2 more. Tap and lift. And then last one, tap and lift. And then step forward, warrior 1. Let's go, left heel lands and you search your way up with the spine. Arms, you can stay or interlace fingers. Think of bending the elbows instead here, just drawing shoulder blades in. And let's fold. Exhale. Land a little bit into it first, feel. Good. And you can massage your way also deeper if you want to take up a bit more space. We're all quite unique when it comes to our joint spaces. Presence to where your feet are meeting the mat. Last round of breath. Take a halfway lift first to find space. Pick up the left heel. And then hands on the inside edge of the right foot. Heel to right foot out. Good. So option 1, just to pause here. Option 2, check back. The tailbone is lifted. Right heel lifts. Option 3, there's a micro bend in the elbow so that you can round more through the upper back. You might be able to slide right knee to the right upper arm. Hold 3. Squeeze them into each other 2. And then vinyasa, or you skip your weight, down dog. Let's go. Meet me, hips up, back. And we'll come again to the back of the mat for a moment. So you can bend the knees and let's walk the hands back. We'll come in for malasana, the squat, for a moment. If you want any blocks with you, take them. Halfway lift generously. Heel to the feet out. Turn the toes out, heels in. And then bring your fingertips first down and start to slowly sink through the pelvis, through space. Then notice if you're just kind of hanging out there with legs a bit more collapsed, can you activate into your heels? And then to really press a little bit into the earth so you feel this energy also picking your spine more upright. Options here, hands come down and wider. And I'm still pressing into the heel, so you'll notice a big difference if you do this kind of collapse versus if you press in and wrap the muscles around the legs. Or hands come to heart. Eyes could close, take at least 3 rounds of breath. Really feel where you are. And keeping on activating through the heels a little bit down. Just resetting my hair so I can see what I'm doing better. And then if you're coming out with me, you can next exhale, bring the fingertips down. You're going to pick up the bum carefully and heel to the feet about hip width. So inner hip width, we say. If you're unsure of what that means, you can bend the knees and measure 2 fists to the inner arches of the feet. And I'm usually a bit wider out than that even. Halfway lift, pick up your toes and then hook hold of the big toes. Press the toes down and then fold. Knees unlocked. 3 breaths here. You might find a little bit of a wiggle there. Softening through the base of the head. Last round of breath. Let's take a halfway lift to lengthen, broaden heart. Exhale, if you want to, walk it out to plank. You take a vinyasa with me, otherwise go to down dog, wait. Good. We'll come one more time into the sequence. Let's go when you're ready. Bend the knees, look forward, and then exhale, step or hop top. Halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Let's root to rise. Let's bring it up to stand. And we go straight in. Bend the knees, right heel lifts. A pulse so that you can press down to lift right knee. We won't do the figure 4 just to go back through space. Warrior 3. Any options there with the arms? You take 1 inhale, exhale, high lunge, land, hands behind the head. 1 time, open space. And exhale, round, bend the back knee. Inhale, open warrior 2, legs. First the feet. It's different for the balance than the arms. Inhale, the dancer, left arm up, over. And side angle, left hand, either to ground or you can stay up higher. Right arm to sky. 1 in breath, think of rotating again from the heart a little bit upwards. Exhale, side plank. If you want to use the blocks, you can. They're there to help you. Lift the back heel, open left arm up to sky. Just a different flavor now if you're on the floor or mat with me. Lift the hips first and then rotate to the outer edge of the back foot. Side plank with the left knee high. Option wild thing. You step the left toes behind you and before you open, press the weight to the heels or feet rather. And then pick up from the hips, then allow the rib cage just to follow that spiral. 1 big round of breath. Press a little bit into the earth. Activate the right shoulder. When you come out, we'll come out slowly. Bend the knees. Feel your way first to the right foot so you can pick up the left knee, look forward. And then we have slow rotation of stepping left foot to the top. Warrior 1 when you're ready. Inhale, spine lifts. And humble warrior, exhale, dive down. Think of that unlock in the elbows again. Feel for it, 3. And 2. Soften through the base of the neck, 1. Halfway lift, Arms back and pick up the right heel. And the lizard, high variation. So hip stays more lifted. Now, you can either hold it here, or if you want to play in Kundinyasana B with me, it's going to be a very brief introduction. So know that you can either just stay there or kind of look at me, and then you can always go back to this, but we won't break it down too much today. Check that you have a little bit of space there to your left side. Pick up your bum and then bend the elbow so you can place the left hand. You wrap the left arm under the left thigh and you step the left hand outside of the left foot. Heel to the left foot a little bit in. And here you want the hips to be lifted. It's going to make it slightly easier. Then, friends, you're going to start to bend through the elbows and pick up the left toes. Then, can you start to send the chest forward, look forward, bend the elbows, and maybe some of you might lift the back toes off the mat. We hold 2, we hold 1. Everyone, place the right knee to the mat. Press into the ground, and then send the left leg back. Inhale, exhale, knee down, take a wiggle, maybe even child's pose, 2 rounds of breath. So a bit more of this. Promise to maybe record a class where we break it more down, and you'll find other transitions also from it. If you're ready to go back in, you can search your way forward. Tabletop, mobilize first. So you allow the nervous system first to search its way, and the beauty of these recorded classes is that you can take longer time. No one's there to force you to do anything. Although my classes, you can always do whatever you want to. Let's go into the play one more time, and then we'll start to calm this down. You can bend the knees, inhale, look forward, and then exhale, step, or hop to the top, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Then root to rise, let's bring it up to stand. And then bend the knees, hands to heart, left heel lifts. You can find a pulse if you want to again, or you can go just straight to lift the left knee. And then from there, warrior 3, any variation. Hands to heart, arms forward, feel. One more in-breath. High lunge, hands behind the head. Open through the chest. Exhale, round, bend the back knee. Inhale, we'll open warrior 2 legs first, then the arms. To reverse, right arm up. And exhale, side angle. One in-breath, think of rotation there, grounding through the legs. And exhale, swap, open arm twist. Left hand comes down, you take up space first, right arm to sky. And then exhale, let's ground down, turn to the outer edge of the back foot. Remember your different choices there. Right knee lifts, option, wild thing. You step back, open heart. And feel for a moment that connection, also bending first the knees so that you then can press carefully hips up, and the rib cage spine follows that spiral. When you come out, you bend the knees, weight goes back, we pick up the right knee, and then work with that annoying transition one more time. Right foot slowly, top of the mat. Warrior 1, take up space, lift the spine. And then diving down, humble warrior, interlace without locking the elbows. And I'm just reminding everyone for this unlock, because myself, I'm really good at sometimes locking my joint spaces, and we want them to stay open. So energy can move through, and so that we can find a more kind of sweet practice that is going to build us up rather than tear us down. Next, inhale, halfway lift. Pick up the left heel and place the hands to the inside edge of the right foot for the lizard. And again, you can stay here. You can even drop the back knee and not listen to me. But for a very brief Kundinyasana B, you're going to check first, are my hips high? Or are you super far back? Then tap it in. Then bend the elbows so you can start to snuggle the right arm under the right thigh. You can even feel your way a little bit there, creating this connection. I like to heel toe my right foot slightly in. Hands ground down. Then pick up your right heel. This might be enough for you today, or you look forward, you start to bend through the elbows and lift the right toes, and then to snuggle maybe left leg to lift with you. And we're there for 2, and we're there for 1. We're gonna come out so that you lower left knee, you lift the chest, and you send the right leg back through space. You take a breath in, and knees come down, take a wiggle. Let's go for child's. And again, for this one, just bring your arms back through space and let it sway. If you were in the lizard and if you want to do something else like a vinyasa before you come down, give yourself that. Sometimes I like to bend my elbows and bring this like prayer palms. Palms are connecting to the midline. And then third eye closer to the thumbs. It's a bit different for the blood pressure, and try to soften the breath and see if you can feed all the cells with awareness. And then once you feel grounded enough, you can decide to stay here, and you might even walk your knees wider and just hang out in balasana, the child's pose. If you want to continue into one more play with me, we call it lolasana, and you don't have to know anything. You can try lifting your spine, and with this one, the blocks are really great. You could always try it just on the hands, but the blocks are going to give you quite a nice boost. So we start out just sitting on the knees like this. And blocks can come to the lowest level so that they're more aligned with the front of the knees. You can either use the hand, or if your wrists are really tired from today, try wrapping your fingers over the top edge like this. It's going to be a bit kinder and more forgiving to your wrists. Or again, you go back to the child's pose. Then you can come with me. We're going to lean forward, lift the bum a little bit, and then search for that slide of shoulder blades apart. This rounding that we did in the plank in the beginning. So we want that. So again, you lift the bum and then press down, and still unlocking the elbows. Many times when we go there, it's kind of a lot for the elbow joint if we just continuously lock and lock and lock. Okay, we're gonna come into it, I promise. Press into the blocks, unlock the elbows, rub them a little bit back, and then pick up the bum. We'll do this lift a couple of times. You lower the knees, you sit back, and then you rock forward, you press to the ground, and you lift up the bum by pressing to the tops of the feet, and you lower. Let's do it one more time to hold. Again, a brief introduction to this lovely Lolasana. I have a very much of a hate relationship to it, but I'm learning to love it. Check again, joint spaces, then lift the left toes. See if you want to lift the right toes with me, and the bum might come down like mine, but we hold it for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and shake, and then sit with it and feel. Blocks can come to the sides of the mat. Turn the palms up in your lap and feel. And almost like you're again allowing yourself to witness the doors that open when you become more still. You might decide to just stay here a little bit longer, especially if it's speaking to you, if it feels alive, to sit in meditation. Or you can continue down to the back with me. So you open your eyes, you free your legs. And check that you have your blocks to each side of the mat if you want to use them later. We'll come down with the knees bent. And let's start out in a half happy baby so that the right knee comes in, guided on a slight rotation more out, more to the right side ribs out. And then opting to grab hold of the outer edge of the right foot. And here it might be nice to either glide the left knee out or let the leg come down to the floor. Just about 3 breaths here. You can move around and really tracing this pathway into your right hip, joint spaces and muscles surrounding. And bending the right knee, bring it into the midline, so more chest bone. And then we'll go across the midline, so to twist left knee to the right knee to the left. I love blocks just to bring a bit more this sense of groundedness into the end of a class, but you can also choose not to, it's fine. Right arm can open out and can keep the head, neck either rotating up. I have my hair in a clip, so it's a little bit, wobbly when you're recording these classes, but you can also rotate the nose to the right side. One more round of breath, really to clear out. And then let's come back to a midline. You can bend both knees and we'll soon swap sides. But first, have this moment of equilibrium. And when you're ready, left knee can come in and we'll start in that rotation again outwards. Option to grab hold of the outer edge of the left foot, and right knee can either rotate out, it's a little bit like the butterfly, or right leg down. And they're just different. One is not better than the other. 3 breaths or so and maybe a wiggle. And then friends, we're gonna go across the midline to twist. You bend the left knee in and you carry it across. And the block is lovely, you don't have to use it. Head either turned more up. And please, if you have the hair in a clip like I do, remove it so that you can just chill. I just have it for kind of practical reason. 3 rounds of breath or even more. Just to give away any residue and to come back to what is yours, what is truly yours. Can start to come out, and last option to hug the knees in to take a full happy baby. Either knees in hands or you go for the full variation, holding outer edges. And see if you can find a little bit of grounding down through the lower back. Wiggles, rocks. And after this, we'll have our final destination towards Shavasana. So you can start to search your way down in rest. Legs to extend, and if you are happier, for instance, on the side, if you want to take any last stretches, if there's something missing from your practice, you give yourself that. And if you're home or if you have a lot of space where you're practicing, you can really take up space with the arms or even go higher up in a starfish shape. Let's take one last soft breath just to rinse. Exhale to rest to earth. And now I would love for you to pause the video if you want to stay with me in a longer Shavasana. But for those of you who have things they need to tend to, you can start to turn your awareness back on to notice what you are in connection to. Maybe to search your hands somewhere to the midline of heart, belly. And you can choose to close from your back Or you can rotate to one side to then slowly come up to sit with me for the ending. And finding any neutral and comfortable seat of choice, cross-legged or on the knees. If you want to have the hips elevated slightly, give yourself that. You can rest your arms if you are more upright with me, option palms together. And in a sense of holding what is yours, coming back to that. Last invitation to take a breath into the base of the heart. And then exhale to bow head to that inner space. Om. Thank you for practicing with me today.